All right, everyone. Welcome to the Stress-Free Zone. I am your host, Randy Stress. This is the show that lets you meet famous celebrities, sports people, CEOs, and others, and let you get to know them on a more personal level. We have a little bit of fun before we go into their into their business background. So today, I have someone, CEO of Seven Hills Production. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, SKEEWW. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Breon Moses. How are you today, and welcome to the show?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. I have family members who are AKAs, and one of my good friends crossed 2 years ago. So anytime I get a chance to do the SKEE, I do it. So I hope you don't mind.
No, it's okay. I did it a lot.
Good, because I'm going to have you ski wee at some point. Now, on this show, we try to let people get to know you on a more personal level first, and we talk about your business stuff and everything. But in the beginning, I like to ask a couple of questions to let people kind of know who you are. And my first question is always, what do you want people to know about you?
Well, I would love people to know about me is that I'm a passionate businesswoman. My love for film entertainment, as well as my love for HBCUs, and also helping members in my community. And I also have a deep-rooted love for my members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Go ahead, do it one time.
No.
Okay. Okay, we won't do that then. So I'm going to skip the question that I normally ask now, and I'm going to ask you, because of everything that you're doing and the fact that you love HBCUs so much and you do so much for students, I'm going to ask you, who is your inspiration?
Well, my inspiration is not just one person. I am inspired, by a lot of people. My parents, of course. My mother, who just celebrated, this year is 41 years. So last year, we celebrated 40 years of her being an alum of Florida A&M University.
Nice.
I'm inspired, and I was like, oh my God, like 40 years now, this year is 41 years. But I'm inspired by, former professors from FAMU. My aunt, who is a graduate of Bethune-Cookman University and also is my soror, she inspires me. I have former colleagues who really inspire me to, keep pushing and, being the best at what I do and just giving a lot of encouraging words, and a lot of friends. Like, they're always in my corner. I can't thank them enough. When I call for advice or needing help with things, like, they stop what they're doing to pick up and really listen to what my needs. So, to answer it, I have several people that really, inspire me to really want to keep going and being the best at what I do.
Okay, sounds like you have the best kind of tribe that you could possibly have. That's what most people are rooting for, most people are hoping for, and I'm lucky myself because the person in the background there is someone who actually helped kick me off with what I'm doing. So it's great to have people behind you giving you that pat on the back, and in my case, sometimes a grab on the collar to slow you down a little bit. So it's really good. It's good to hear that, because so many people have this habit of saying Black people don't stick together or women don't stick together. And I'm like, I don't know where you guys got that from, because I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. I mean, when I used to work for ESPN, and we actually came up to FAMU. It was the one and only time we came. And we had so much fun there. It was the one time we didn't have any headaches at a university. And it was so nice to see everyone working together, helping each other out. We had the Deltas came up and they did a step. And of course, my dogs came up and did a step. And we enjoyed ourselves. We had a great time. And it was so good to see people working together, sticking together. And you hear people promoting each other. Hey, this person is trying to do this. You have any jobs at ESPN? I mean, these people, and I was like, for you? Well, no, my buddy is da-da-da. It was so nice to see that. So when I hear people say, oh, we don't Yeah, you just haven't met the right group of people. That's all it is.
That I tell people all the time, you have to, project what you want to receive. So if you're a person that is constantly, pushing out positive energy, always willing to help and lift a hand, not always wanting to receive, a dollar amount back, you know, tell folks all the time, be the best person that you can be, and whatever you put out in the atmosphere, you will receive that back.
I am
So
all about that. Karma is my way of life because when I was younger, I learned the hard way that karma will get you when you least expect it. So it was a hard lesson, but once I learned, I'm like, okay, so I got this. No more, no more at all. So I'm gonna go a different way with you to try to make this a little more personal.
Oh
So the
Lord,
next
let's
question I'm
go.
gonna ask you is, well, I'm gonna ask you this first. What do you like to do in your spare time?
So spare time, I am sometimes home, exploring my home, where I'm working probably from home, or I am watching a lot of shows, trying to catch up on stuff, supporting my friends so they can have the ratings.
Oh, okay.
Or, I hang out with family some, but a lot of the time you will catch me traveling. So
Okay.
I'm bouncing from either state to state or country to country, doing a lot of different things, meetings, and just exploring, because you have one life. So
Yes.
you can't just constantly, work all the time. But I do put in time where I spend time with family and friends, and I do travel and I go see the world. I was in Africa the end of last year into the beginning of this year, and it was a wonderful experience. Like I felt at home, so at ease. Although it was a long flight, but it was just like once I got there, I was like, oh my god, I am here. I finally arrived, and I loved every moment. I did not want to come back, to be honest, but my life is here, work is here, but I plan to, travel back, and I met family. Well, I met a family over there. And I keep in contact with them, but you have to get out and travel and just see the world because again, you only have one life.
And that's great because that brings two questions I want to ask. But before I get to those, I have to ask, what part of Africa were you in?
Oh, I was in South Africa.
Okay.
I was in Cape Town, and then I flew to Johannesburg. And I can't remember the other place. We were bouncing around a lot of different places. We
Oh,
were
that's
we,
good.
we were gone.
That's really good. I have a couple of friends from South Africa, and I have one who still lives there. And I'm planning to go for the first time to visit because my parents raised us where we learned our history and we grew up speaking Swahili and things like that.
Oh,
And I plan on going for the first time. I want to spend a month there. So it's nice to hear good things, even though my friend back there tells me as much and shows photos that you normally can't see in the States. Because if you see Africa from the States, it looks like huts and nothing else. And you get there and you're like, these are skyscrapers. These
nothing.
streets are
Right.
beautiful. Okay.
Beautiful.
So I want to go into a little bit of what you do, and then we could do some more personal later. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much personal. So I would like to know, I would really like to know because I love the fact that you do so much for HBCU students. And I want to know what inspired you to create Seven Hills.
So, earning my degree from Florida A&M University, excuse me, that was my backup plan. My parents told me that if this is what you really want to do it, but you need to have a backup plan. So my plan was to finish and attain my degree, which I did, and then to go full into film and entertainment. And so, I was just like, okay, 'cause they always told me, you have to have a backup plan. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket. So I understood that. So, and then, from graduating from Florida A&M University, then I went on and got my master's. And so I worked with other film companies and worked on other films, feature films, and all that. And I said, you know what? I really want to be able to have content that is for our people and that can really show us in a different light. So when I decided, to create Seven Hills, I'm like, okay, I had a dream, like, you know what, this is what you need to do. The name came to me. And so pretty much that was the birth of Seven Hills. And then from there, I said, I want to do more for students. What else can I do? Because I was a student at Florida A&M, and a lot of my friends, they were in a lot of debt because, loans.
Yes.
And so, some qualified for financial aid and scholarships. And I said, but you know what? Let me, do something more. So I created the foundation, and our foundation is geared towards helping students at all HBCUs. And, I really wanted to do something for students because, a lot of students always reach out to me, for advice and asking me to mentor them. And I'm like, yeah, well, what else can I do? The scholarship came about. And then from the birth of the scholarship, with the foundation, I created with my team. So we came up with the Real Back Film Summit, which showcased students and HBC alumni who are in film and entertainment, where you can come on as a panelist. We showcase everybody's all bodies of work. So if you're a
Hmm.
producer, we have producer panels for inspiring students who are interested in maybe becoming a producer, director,
Okay.
working behind the scenes in makeup. So, from there, I just said, this is what I really want to do. Let me continue to push, and everything has been really falling into place. I've called on a lot of my friends, um, and they're like, you know what, I love the mission, I love everything about it, let me jump on board and
Right.
definitely support you with what you're doing. So I've been so grateful, and everything is really, taken off.
That's a really good thing you're doing, because I've seen so many students, they get into these fields, and there's no real help for them to get into the job. There's no transition. There's no practice. You get an internship, but it's someone telling you to hold a cup of coffee for 3 hours, and you don't learn anything. And most of the time, it's for no money. And at the end of all of this, because I know when I got an internship, I worked for a record label. We didn't get paid
Hmm.
for anything, but we didn't learn anything. And they also didn't hire ever any interns, no matter how good you were. So it was one of those
Oh
things
wow.
where, yeah, you learn the hard way. And it's good to hear that there's, even if you don't get hired, it's good to get that firsthand experience, because that helps you get a job. Because if you can say, I did this, I did that, it'll help you go to the next level somewhere else, because now you have the experience, as opposed to someone who came out and, well, what experience do you have? School. So it's really nice. I've loved this. So I'm going to ask you now, is there anything that you're currently working on that you can share with us?
So right now, I have an upcoming scholarship. It's happening in a few weeks. I'm still finalizing a few things. I have a big name partner that has come on that loves the mission and wants to do more and investing in students at HBCU. So scholarship will be ready in a few weeks. In a few weeks, it'll probably drop in like November. For
Okay.
students last year, one of at the inaugural Real Back Film Summit, student from Florida A&M, she won the scholarship.
Okay.
Amazing, like amazing body of work. And she used that money to invest in shooting her short. So from
Nice.
shooting her short, she from the short, she went ahead and got an internship with Apple, and Apple is now producing her short. So she filmed it, used the scholarship to film that. She entered it into a contest, and now they're producing, her short, and it's streaming right now on, I believe, it's on their YouTube as well as their web page with Apple by Beat.
Ooh, I love that. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. It's good when you hear not only the good things that you're doing, but when you hear the results coming from the good things that you're doing, that's always it's always really nice. It kind of fills your heart with I'm going to say joy. I'm going to be corny today. We're going to say joy.
No,
Uh,
but honestly, no, and I agree with you with Joy because when she called me and said, "Because of you, I got this," I'm like, you know, if I literally I'm still speechless right now, and I'm like,
right.
but no, it's not just because of me. It's because of your hard work. Now, you know, God used me as a vessel to help steer you in the direction and help you so you can get the hands-on experience. But from there, baby, this is all you. So
I no, go
go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, so I was just telling her, like, listen, I appreciate all of it, but she just kept thanking me and thanking me. She said, honestly, you gave me a chance when nobody would. And I told her, I said, I am very appreciative. I love pouring into students and not just students, just people in general, because that's just who I am. You
Right.
know, I have people that have poured into me. So my thing is to pay it forward and pour
There you go.
into others that are coming, along. And I'm just reaching back. Hey, come on. It's room at this table for you.
And I get everything you're saying. It's good to see people reaching back because I try my best to reach back and do whatever I can for people. You do have to take a little bit of credit. I understand God used you as a vessel, but you could have been hard headed and not done what your purpose is. And so you got to take a
Hmm.
little bit. I mean, because you did do the work and you did set it up. So I get why she is really appreciative of what you're doing for her because things that I've done in the past to get me to where I am now, someone gave me an opportunity. And
Yeah.
I was a stage manager for ESPN. I had no experience, like none. But the people in charge of the set believed in me and they pushed me. I was like, no. And they stayed on me for months until I said, okay, I'll try it. And turned out to be great. I won that because I listened to them. So you have to take a little bit of credit for that. I mean, I'm not saying
Just
get
a little bit.
cocky,
I
but
told her, just a
10%.
little bit. Yeah, just a little bit, but I love stories like this, with helping students and just helping people, really in general to live out their purpose. So just a little credit.
There you go.
I'll take a little, just a
There you
little, but
go.
yeah.
So let me go back to a little personal to get you because now that I'm talking to you and I see your energy, I'm like, okay, let's hear a little bit more personal stuff. So we all get stressed out, and I was just wondering, what do you do to relax when you get stressed out?
Stressed out. Well, I don't really allow stress to get to me because if I can't control, some uncertainty, I just let it play itself out. Now, I always have backup plans at how to fix. I really
Right.
don't allow certain things to really get to me because, things happen. You have to be able to pivot. You can't just stay stuck and like, oh my God, and freak out.
There you
You have
go.
to be able to pivot, through life and through work and just through obstacles. My thing is, because I came from corporate America too, and number one thing was how do you overcome these obstacles?
There you go.
Because we don't have a straight path. We have to go around, do a few flips, go on to do this, but how do you pivot yourself?
Right. Okay. Okay. I love this. This is great. I mean, I'm Randy Stress. They call me that because I'm always calm under pressure. I mean, that's where it came from. People are like, you just don't let things. I'm like, look, I smile every day. A pastor, I'll never forget Reverend Keebles in high school. I came to school being a typical high school student. I'm in a bad mood. And he's like, for what? I don't know. I'm just in a bad mood. And he's like, well, if you think your day is bad now, try missing one. And it was one of those statements that kind of like, well, wow. And I've been smiling ever since because it was one of those moments of I never thought of that before. And my friends now are like, why do you smile so much? Because I'm walking around. Like, seriously.
You know, and I get that a lot from people. You're always smiling. You have to because I'm above ground and not below. And every
There
day
you
is a
go.
new opportunity for me to maybe correct my wrongs or a new opportunity to do something else and expand my platform.
There
So
you
I'm
go.
always grateful for, waking up every morning and doing something that I love.
So let's talk music then. Who is your go-to artist? We can talk about when you're driving, when you need to zone out, or if you're working out. We'll let you decide if you want to talk about all or just one.
So I love old school music. Like love, love, love. And when I say love, I mean like I love Tyrone Davis. Some people may not know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love blues, BB King, people like ZZ Hill,
Uh-huh.
that old school stuff. Now, since I'm from South Florida, I do love listening to that, that Uncle Luke era, Uncle Al.
Right,
I
right.
will listen to that. I love listening to a lot of Whitney Houston, and then my favorite artist, currently is Beyonce. So anything Beyonce, I listen. I listen. I have all the albums. I just found one album on vinyl, and I was like, oh, I have to get
Okay, okay.
it.
That's good. You got a good little music selection there. You go through it. So I appreciate that. I love old school myself. So I definitely old school 70s, 90s, even early 2000s. The music I really got into more. I get the Beyonce thing. I don't know if Beyonce is really for the guys like me. I like her music, but I don't own a CD. Not that I don't
Well,
love
I
the
have.
Beehive before the Beehive comes after me. I love the Beehive.
Yeah, because they will get you. I mean, I also listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. I listen to all of them because that's what I grew up listening to.
Right.
So, like that's all my parents listened to. So, I was growing up listening to that and like playing it when I go to school, and my friends are like, "What the heck?"
I get that. That's funny. So I'm going to ask you a question, and it hasn't stumped anyone yet. And I kind of love that because I get some really good answers.
Mhm.
If you could have a conversation with anyone, they can be famous or not, they can be living or not, who would it be?
So, it's two people. I would love to speak with Oprah Winfrey, and I would love to speak with Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Those two, I really would love to speak with them. Like, and also too, I'm watching Issa Rae's career. I would love
Hmm.
to speak with her too because she's doing a lot of great things. I'm just watching in awe, like, wow, you all are doing really great things, and I'm cheering from the sideline because I love seeing us win.
Yeah, Miss Ray seems like she'd be the most fun to talk to just because she seems high energy, like she would just give it all to you at once and you're sucking it in and you're laughing and jumping. She seems like she'd be so much more fun. Not saying that they wouldn't be fun. I'm just saying she seems so high energy that you would just sit there with a notepad, just okay, let me get all of this in. So yeah, that's you pick some really good people, and I'm never left short when I ask that question. I expect people to, and I get some really good answers. So I love that. And we're getting close. So I'm going to ask you this. What words of wisdom can you share for someone that wants to do what you do?
So, words of wisdom, I would definitely tell people to navigate through life by connecting with people, not just necessarily high up, but navigate and connect with people that are on the same level as you. Because when you guys connect and navigate through the industry together,
Mm-hmm.
you start to see, I put my friend on, and then the friend also puts,
There
you
you go.
connect with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different people. Don't just stay stuck in that, how people say, no new friends. I
Right.
don't believe in that. Navigate and get to know people, because you never know who knows who and who's speaking your name in those rooms that you're currently not in.
I love that. I'm going to call it let the people be the mountain that you build. And I think that's
Love that.
that's a really good concept. Hey, that's copyright. No, I'm just kidding. I just made that up, but it makes sense to me. It's one of those things where, like, even with what I'm doing so much, but it's because of other people helping me, and I'm always reaching back for someone else, trying to put them on. And as I reach back, I find myself popping up more, and then they'll jump in front, and then I pop up with them, and it's fun. It gives you someone that you know to look at, and you compete with each other, but it's a friendly kind of competition. You're not hating. You're not, I got to beat you, because it makes it more fun, because you're like, that was a great movie you wrote. I'm going to see if I can write one just as good. And then they look at you like, man, I loved what you did with that music. Let me see if I can do this. So it's good to hear that type of advice. It's good to hear a young lady, a woman, I'm so sorry, give that type of advice. I love to hear all about the togetherness. And like I said, we're running low on time. So I'm just going to ask one last question. And is there anything you want people specifically to know about you outside of what do you want people to know about your original question? Is there anything else you want people to know about you?
So I believe in this. If I can help someone as I travel along my journey, let my living not be in vain. So if you can understand that, then you'll know exactly who I am.
I love that. That is a beautifully deep way to end this. I would like to thank you so much for coming on. You gonna give me
Thank you for having me.
You gonna give me a ski before you go? You're not gonna ski me? Oh, okay. I still appreciate you coming on. Much love. I'm so appreciative. I really enjoy it. To the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, I was making fun in a fun way. I love you all. And again, this is Randy Stress. This is the Stress-Free Zone. I hope you guys had a great time. Remember, always remain stress-free. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.